Well, I've got Harmeet Singh joining me now, and Harmeet, you've been a very busy man, so I appreciate you taking the time out to join me. How are you doing tonight?
Good, good. Thank you, Aman. Happy New Year's, firstly.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you as well. It's been a pretty busy 2025, at least the tail end of it for you. Just reflect on what 2025 was like.
Very nice, man. Very blessed to have a year like that. And I think career-wise, it was very uplifting and also a lot of opportunities. And yeah, couldn't have asked for a better year. And then now leading into 2026 to start the season with a World Cup, nothing like it, right? So yeah.
Yeah, I mean that World Cup is all anyone's been talking about for quite some time, and so we'll get to that here in a bit. But I want to start kind of in your early life, and it's kind of funny. You're sitting in Mumbai at the moment. It's where you're born, and it's where you came up. Just talk to us about. I think a lot of people have known about what you've done since Major League Cricket, but in your early days, what was it like growing up in Mumbai playing cricket, and what was that experience?
Mumbai, I feel, of course, lived 27 years of my life here. And Mumbai, growing up in Mumbai, I was born in the suburbs. So the culture, like growing up, like playing cricket, wasn't that sort of easy, you can say, because it was morely like, city schools game. And, all the Harris Shield, Guile Shield, all the prestigious tournaments which were going on for 100 years. No one ever won a tournament in the suburbs and in like 100 years. And like, so we were the sort of first batch to sort of break that tradition and sort of establish cricket in the suburbs. Not just me, but then again, there were guys. Rohit was Rohit Sharma was our senior in the school, and so basically looking up to him when he made the under 19. First, he played under 17 India, so that was quite earlier. So that put a lot of impact. That there's a junior India team we should be aspiring to play, and then he went on to play under 19 India. So we were still what I think 13 or 14 in our school days, and wanting to make it, and then we sort of broke school all the Guile Shield, Harris Shield records, like 100-year records, won the plate championship, and then that's how we sort of made a name that, oh, okay, these guys are good. And there were not many grounds in the suburbs then. So our small school ground was something that we would make our own pitches and, you know, use the roller, whatever was needed, everything we had to do it on our own. But it was very enjoyable. And then our school coach also used to send us to Shivaji Park to train where, like so Sachin and everybody trained. And was very lucky enough to get coached under in my younger days.
Mhm.
And of course, my school coach was Dinesh Lad, who got a Dronacharya very recently. So, so I think very lucky to have mentors like them and have right people along the way, because I was not, again, coming from a rich or well-to-do family. I was coming from a humble beginning. We were making ends meet and all of that, but it wasn't like my if I was asked to pay a lot of fee, I would have been able to afford that. But yeah, I was very lucky that most of my training was free, like sponsored or whatever. So I kept meeting the right people, and then by the time I was 14, I was playing the state team under 14 Mumbai, then under 16s, and then by the time I was 15, I got picked in the Mumbai sort of preseason tournament called. Then I did well there, picked up a fifer in the first game, and that game was sort of a little bit of a shift, because the shift in the sense people started rating me a lot, because then we had like the whole, like nowadays in our preseason games, not everybody goes. We send our younger teams and all of that.
Sure.
Then it was like even Ajit Agarkar, Zaid Khan, or Wasim Jaffer, and all these guys would travel. Rohit, Ajinkya, everybody would travel to play, and then enter the Ranji Trophy and then play the whole season. Nowadays, everybody, like, no one has the time to do preseason. Everybody's playing a lot of cricket, so if they can avoid, they avoid. Then they would play a lot of cricket, a lot of that preseason games and all. And so yeah, everybody was there, and then I got a chance there, did well. I did not get into the team that season, but next season, when I was 16, I got into the Ranji Trophy side. And then after that, yeah, first few games I was sitting out, and then Ramesh Pawar got injured in a home game. So I got a chance, picked up 7 wickets in the first game and then five. So I wasn't sort of in the reckoning of under 19 World Cup that year because we had like a lot of left arm spinners in that year, in that World Cup. So I was like, maybe next World Cup is mine. I was in the probables, but I was like, doesn't look promising this year. So, but then I had a great Ranji Trophy, so then I got picked straight away. And then I went to New Zealand with the team, and then like we had really good players on that team, but then we didn't win the World Cup. And then after that, we had the 2012 World Cup, 2012 Asia Cup we won, then World Cup we won. Then I came back, we won the Irani Trophy, Challenger Trophy. So that was like a very good little phase where we were winning a lot of tournaments. And then 2013, yeah, 13 I was playing IPL. That was great. And then suddenly I stopped getting a lot of opportunities with my home state in Mumbai. So I had like 18 wickets in 3 games I played till then. But there was not many opportunities. Then couple seasons I sat home, no games, and then sort of lost my peak. And then after that, in 2014, 15, I think season, or 15, yeah, 14, 15 season, I got last 2 games where Mumbai had to qualify, win both games. We won both games. Picked a 4 wicket haul and a 6 wicket haul in the 2 games I played, and then we got qualified. Then in the playoffs, we lost in the semifinals. But then I had a very good season. Whatever 4 games I played with the bat, with the ball, whatever, here at their contributions. And I thought next season is my season. I'll get a full season. But then again, our coach changed, and from game one, I was sitting out, and then 1 game, and then I was just dropped, whatever. But yeah, those kind of things are sort of tough in Mumbai cricket, I would say, because I feel doesn't really matter who plays, who doesn't. There's so much talent that someone comes out of the blue and wins you a Ranji Trophy. So it's always 19-20 between competitions. And then I would say here and there's favoritism, but favoritism is also part of the game, so which you have to accept. And then those opportunities where I thought then that okay, I deserved, but I feel time has gone. And then of course after that I played for J&K a couple games and then came back. It's like did not enjoy that. So then I had to serve a cooling period here, picked up a lot of wickets, still didn't get picked here. But then I got 2 seasons in Tripura, which I'm very grateful because those 2 seasons I played all 3 formats and got a full go. And I then realized, okay, this is what it takes to play the whole season. And then after that, played another season which was better. And and I feel if I played a few seasons, I would have become a very sort of seasoned first class player. But but then I got an opportunity for Major League during COVID, and then sort of I moved in the middle of the pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a unbelievable journey you just took us through, and a lot of highs and a lot of lows, right? And I think that's kind of like the story of so many people, but of you in particular, right? And I think if you go through it, that 2010 World Cup, probably not the performance you wanted, and then to come back in 2013 and the 2012 World Cup and to win that one and go through, the challenges of 2013, right? The you were investigated for spot fixing. Obviously, nothing came back that was tied to you, but those things they linger. How did you kind of keep it about yourself to power through those tough moments and those periods where you felt things should be working, they aren't, and to keep the faith?
Yeah, I mean, you know, during the 2010 World Cup also, we had a gun side like we that if you ask me, that side should have won, and then probably I wouldn't have been disappointed if we did not win in 2012. But then as a team in 2012, we played so much better than 2010. And that's what teaches you that, you know, big names don't win you tournaments. How well you play as a team in any comp wins you games and tournaments, whatever. So that was a great learning then. And then, yeah, 2013 was very unfortunate, I feel, because I had opportunities to play for different franchisees also and all of that. But then I picked Royals because my ideal Rahul Dravid was the captain there, and he particularly wanted me to play also. So I was like, yeah, there's no doubts. I am going to play for them. And whereas my parents were like thinking otherwise, they wanted me to play for another franchise, and I was like, no, 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 there's no way. I want to play for All Right, whatever. So I made the decision. Of course, even if you ask me again, given the opportunity, I would anyway any day pick to play under Rahul Dravid, and I was what 20 then, so things happening, let's say, at the level they happened then, it's very hard for any youngster to, sort of take it under their stride and not sort of lose, you know, lose its way, because that time it was like, you know, the way the media was portraying it, and even for real, India's anti-terrorist squad was involved in the case. And then the names they were taking, it was just scary, and not just for myself, but for the families.
Yeah.
And any name, like, let's say, even if I knew any name you take can go against you or your family or whatever. Anyone, like, who's going to protect you? So it was not just about, you know, sharing the knowledge you have or not have. It was about your life also. Like, it was like almost life and death situation. It wasn't about, like, forget playing cricket after that. You living or not living would have been like, sort of, because, the things that happened during that time, even with the players who were involved or not involved or whatever, and the guys who were left behind in the hotel, and the chats we had and all of that, it was pretty overwhelming, and like too much to sort of. I saw greats of the game really, like, almost became so emotional that they would, like, it was almost a breakdown that they wanted to go after playing, what, 20-25 years of cricket themselves, and I was like so young then. So those kind of experiences, but I feel, again, those were experiences, and something I'm glad I came out of it. And then it was tough, but at the same time taught me so much, and became a so much sort of wiser person after that, when you have an experience like that so young. And then of course, I was playing my cricket, everything, and then always asked myself the question that why I started playing in the first place. It was morely for the love of the game, and not, doesn't matter where I play, doesn't matter if I'm playing for India or for my club team. So that's when I started enjoying playing even more and appreciating the opportunity to play the game rather than where I'm playing the game. So I enjoyed playing in a park, I enjoyed playing in a stadium. Now, like, long story, coming back to the same ground playing against India in Wankhede would be epic. And I feel those are you know, these are the moments which make you feel that, oh, okay, yes, the hard work you put in is showing all the, you know, giving you all the fruits now. So it's just unreal to imagine sort of playing a World Cup now against
Yeah.
India in Maya. So it'll be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible kind of full circle moment for sure. You came to the US, and did you ever imagine you were going to play in a World Cup, and again in India, or just in general, did you ever imagine playing for the USA as part of your journey?
Never. It was like, again, as I said, how life took me through the ride, and I kept riding the wave, and the opportunities. Like, even when I was moving to America, I didn't know that we would be playing a World Cup in India, or even the last World Cup we played in America.
Yeah.
So it was like two epic World Cups, like which sort of, if you ever asked me to pick two World Cups if you want to play, well, I would have said yes, America and India. So so both, both the World Cups, you know, playing in one in America at our home, and then where I was born, the next one. So it's just one, like, feels too good to be true, but it's just, it feels like a dream, and it's happening. So I feel one is, blessed, and then the other is now there's a job in hand. So we better sort of get to it and make sure we put our best foot forward.
Yeah.
It's like a great opportunity again after the last World Cup, and it's at a world stage. And again, hopefully we can put up a show and give up like absolute best and give a better result for America this year.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about the World Cup in a bit. You mentioned moving to the US. Why the US? Obviously, you had talked with the major league folks, but what ultimately made you decide, okay, yeah, the US is where I want to be?
I was already coming to the US since 2014
Mhm.
around the summers to visit my friends here and there, and so I knew a little bit about what America is, and how the culture is, and how the people are there, and then couple years in between I did not come, but then let's say on an average almost every year I was traveling. And in 2019 also, when I left home, I thought from next season onwards it'll be tough because I was playing for Tripura, and they always wanted me back earlier for the preseason games and all of that. But then the pandemic happened, and it was so sort of not expected by anyone, and our Ranji Trophy season also got called off. So when the offer came, it was around August, I think, and then 2020, and then in September 2020, I just came to the States and went around a little bit and sort of saw and met the people that were interested. So it was like also wanting me to know that it's legit and everything is
Mhm.
happening, and then what is the deal and all of that. So, and then it made sense to me then because I didn't know when the season would happen in India, and the opportunities in India were very uncertain, conditional, because I was playing away from my state. So everything was moving in the direction of saying yes to what was lying ahead. And so I was like, okay, let's do this, and sort of turned out to be the best decision. And it's just I never thought that like leading up to making that decision, whatever decisions, let's say, I had made, would, let's say, even if 50% of this would have happened, I would have still been content or happy. But almost 100% or more clicked, and whatever dreams of playing for America, and franchise cricket, or playing the World Cup, or you know playing franchise cricket around the world, whatever, everything sort of dished out, and I think so far so good. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's incredible. And again, it's been an amazing run. What was that first impression of cricket like in the States, right? That's some that would have been kind of an unknown. I know you've been visiting since 2014, but what was that kind of first impression like?
I moved to Seattle, so Seattle was very new to me. Never
Mhm.
traveled there, and Seattle was like, let's say, really raw, and again the weather and everything, and how they were playing their cricket over there. But with the lack of infrastructure, also the love for the game, the passion, and the people, and the people who are playing the game is no less than what you'd find in a subcontinent country. And so again, passion is there, love is there, everything is there. It's just that we, as a cricket playing nation, moving in the right direction is was needed then. And then with Major League coming in, and then you know our national side becoming a better side, and then we start winning, everything, like all the eyeballs started moving towards America, that okay, these guys can do something. And then few more good seasons of Major League, and playing against and with the best cricketers in the world, rubbing shoulders, and then even around the world, them sort of recommending us and then putting us in different teams. And now ILT20 was a great example where one associate was compulsory, right,
Yeah.
to play in the playing 11. So almost every team had a USA guy. So that speaks a lot about how guys are rating us now. So and especially in the associate category where even Nepal was, so many of our guys were there. So whenever there's like an associate category in a league, our guys get rated very highly. And I think soon, even once hopefully we have another good World Cup, we will start getting rated in even other leagues, because we're not just going out there and filling a spot. We're sort of helping. Like Gao scored 100 in a playoff. Shan was top 5 run getters. So like guys are not just filling spots. They're just like going out there and dominating tournaments. So I think that's very important that when we go out there in different leagues, going out there doing well, winning tournaments for the teams, and then also getting our guys in various teams we play for will help USA cricket in the long run, I feel.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite moments from the ILT20 this year was it was a photo that they put on social. I think it was Sunny, Rushil, Sanjay, Andres might have been in the photo, and Cheyenne. Incredible photo. And I was like, that's the dream, right? To see a bunch of the American
Right.
cricketers all over the world.
Yeah, and I feel by the end of it, Monank also joined, and then Sanjay
Yeah.
came in late, and then Sai was also offered a contract, but he decided to prepare for the World Cup. So that takes a lot to say
Yeah.
no to a league and prepare for a World Cup. And then, so many of our guys were sort of are still like in the top rated category for associate players. And then, ILT20 is one league where we, and even like later part in the tournament, like there were games where two of our guys are playing together associate, but one was compulsory, but they put us as
Yeah.
pros also. So it was just very heartening to see, and hopefully, in time to come. And I'm more excited about the next generation, which is the under 19 World USS side.
Mm.
They look like a gun side, and hopefully,
Yeah.
they can do wonders also in their World Cup and sort of show the world that it's not just about the current batch, but the batch coming in is also exciting, and they're quite supremely talented. It's just that hopefully our infrastructure gets better and better, and these guys get to practice better
Yeah.
and sort of be in that setup where, you know, international side should be and get that care. And then once that happens, I feel the sky's the limit. And I feel infrastructure and USA cricket is where the the gap needs to bridge.
Sure.
And once that is bridged, I feel then we'll produce world class athletes day in, day out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's terrific. How important is that for you that to leave that kind of legacy behind and to better American cricket, to get the next generation going? You're very passionate talking about it. Is that something that you really are you're very much considering every time you make a decision?
Oh yeah, like wherever I am, like in the country, whenever I am around, one is I also enjoy coaching where I get to learn a lot and reflect a lot on myself. But two is I love to sort of pass on my knowledge,
Yeah.
help the youngsters. There's a lot of left-arm spinners around me in Houston also, and then even in the under 19 team, there are a few of my students who made it. But it's just one, as I said, it's very heartening to see the talent which is coming up, and it's so exciting. Not just under 19, I feel like even under 15, 17, there's so many guys in the pipeline which are so exciting and as good as any, Indian or Pakistani kid would be in India, like playing here. And it's just that one is the belief, them having that they're good enough. Because whenever I, let's say, send kids to India to, get coached in the summer or anyone, the feedback always I get is, oh, this guy's a gun, this guy's so good, all of that. But the problem, not the problem, but sometimes we as Americans, we feel that, oh, okay, we're not good enough because we're coming from America. But that shift is happening.
Yeah.
I feel in a year or two, once we start rating ourselves as a cricket playing nation, I feel we will start beating bigger teams very soon and very often. So I think these kids who are coming up, especially the batting talent I see in the country is incredible. And we will see some really solid talent, especially in even Major League and all of that. In the next couple of years, we'll see a lot of exciting talent,
Yeah.
especially batting. Just very excited these guys to make it.
No, there's some terrific ones there, and even in the women's side of things have been moving terrifically well as well. So there's so much great cricket happening, and it's so great to see. You spoke about kind of beating big countries, and that was almost how you started your USA career, right? You debuted against Canada, but it was that Bangladesh series that everyone looked at, right? They came over Prairie View, and you and Corey Anderson kind of had that big partnership to win the game. Talk to me about that. What, was it important to you to beat Bangladesh? Like, was it a bigger thing to beat Bangladesh, to beat that full member before that World Cup?
Yeah, like I feel there was a little bit of I was very new to the team,
Mhm.
but what helped was also the Canada series where we beat them 4-0. I think one game was rained out, but then could have been 5-0 as well. But we convincingly beat them. So when Bangladesh came in, and me being sort of raised in India, I've seen that team and I know the nature of the team. And I know we can, when there's pressure on, we can get them. And it's just about believing and sort of having that attitude that, whenever there's opportunity, we sneak in, whatever. And that's what I think I told myself, because I was very new to the team, so I did not have a big voice in the team. But me coming from Mumbai, like we, when I played my cricket here, this like when we lost the game, like it was a big deal. Like,
Mhm.
because in a season we lose like 2 games, 3 games max, and like I did not have an habit of losing at all. So always finding ways to win, basically finding ways to look on the brighter side. What's the situation in hand, how to win the game, and how to get close to the game, get the game close, and then see what happens and all of that. And that's what that first game was sort of very important, I think, for us mentally to cross the line, because we were in the toughest situation, slow wicket, and me and Corey were batting. Both had just come in. Four was 55-ish runs were needed. And then I just said, Corey, that, both ends left arm fast bowlers were there. So I was like, they're just sort of angling into us. So anything they miss should go. And that's what happened. And then couple sixes in, and then Mustafiz was bowling. Actually, I felt at the wrong end. He was bowling with them. And I was like, if we just play him out, we'll be we'll be fine. And then Cody sneaked in a boundary in that over also.
Yeah.
So that really helped us. And then when you're in a partnership, when one partner is not able to get a boundary, the other gets it, the pressure is always off. And then that's what was happening. When Corey couldn't get a boundary, I got one. And then when I couldn't, he got one. So the timing of, our shots was really important. And then we almost finished with 5 balls to spare. And that was, epic. And that was, I think, even the turning point for us to have that great World Cup we had, because when we beat Bangladesh, it was like then we also started believing more that,
Yeah.
oh, we can beat bigger sides. And that's what I was hoping, that after the World Cup also we'll get more, that playing different bigger sides. But again, whatever it is. But then after that, that series was great leading up to the World Cup, and then beating Canada and Pakistan in the World Cup was something really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, expand on that. Pakistan, like opening night Canada, I think, was terrific game, but I don't know if it put the US on anyone's radar. I think beating Pakistan was arguably the moment of the World Cup for a lot of people. What was it like to be on the field to do that? Did you believe that it was going to happen before the game started? What was that like?
Yeah, like if we look back just the season before we were playing, a lot of the Pakistani guys were
Mhm.
playing with us with and against in the major league. So we definitely knew what we were facing. And the other thing was also Pakistan was coming off after a a lot of slack in the England series in the T20s, and their media really went after them hard. So they were very sort of mentally hit, and we were on a high. We were winning almost every game we played, and that really matters, I feel, in T20 when you're in having that momentum with you, and then things start falling, and also the shots which are going for six are caught on the boundary, and then the shots you toe and then they go over the ropes. So those kind of things happen when the momentum is with the team, and that was the time which was happening for us. I remember the guy Osman Khan, the shot he played to Nosh. I thought it's a six, and then I see the ball is landing inside, and then it's like, yeah, he's out. And then Azam Khan coming in and hitting like a straight ball on the pad. Like in Dallas, that doesn't happen a lot,
Yeah.
where you playing spin, getting hit straight, because it's anyways not spinning, so you don't sort of get hit on the pad a lot there. That happening, and then them sort of digging a deeper hole for them. Babar Azam being what, 10 of almost 25 balls. You don't see that. And especially Saurabh and Ali bowling that incredible spell in the power play. Everything was happening right for us as we started the game. Monang winning the toss in the morning game, that whatever little bit of moisture, or didn't look like it had moisture, but then getting Rizwan out early, and then those couple wickets for any team puts you back a little bit in the game. And then we really kept squeezing for as long as we could, until I think Shaheen hit a few sixes at the back end, and then they got to sort of 160. And like, I remember me and Gauss walking back to the pavilion, and it's like we chase 160 in Dallas all day, all night. And I would chase 160 against Pakistan if given a chance, especially in Dallas any day. So, like, before the start of the game, if someone asked 160, you'll be chasing us, like, yeah, why not? And the way we started the chase, I feel we should have never gone into super over. 100 for one, and in what, the 12th over, I think. And then I was like, surely, like, a couple overs in hand, we should be winning the game. And then, they also made a comeback. And then I think their fast bowlers, Haris was bowling a good spell. Even Naseem bowled a decent spell in the back end. And then we had to come back. And then I think it wasn't even like we lost wickets. We like Aaron and Nitish were batting. They were like number, what, 4 and 5 batting for us. And then myself, Corey, and I think who was playing that game. Yeah, we had like at least 2 or 3 batters to come in. And then in the last over, when Aaron hit that six, and then Nitish to finish off with the 4, at least gave us a chance to get into the super over. And then going out there to bat in the super over. Didn't get to face a ball, but go wides. So, but it was fun, like, being in that situation, playing that high pressure game. And like, when I look back, it just feels like we played like we belonged there. And again, it wasn't about what was the world thinking, and if the world thinks we can beat or not. But I think in the dressing room, that feeling was that sort of unsaid feeling, but no one came out and said that we're going to beat Pakistan. But it was that feeling that, we're going to play a proper game and then see what happens. So we did not put Pakistan or anyone. We played India also later and South Africa also later. But we never put anyone on a pedestal. And again, there was full respect for the opponents. But we went out and played a quality game of cricket, and then let the result decide what happens. But then even after that game, I feel, as I said, like playing against India and South Africa, both were like finalists, and then
Yeah.
of that World Cup, and putting them on the rope and sort of giving them a scare. And on another day, we could have easily finished on the winning side, you know, after like in any of those games, and that would have been sort of even a bigger victory than Pakistan. And because I feel the form South Africa and India were during that World Cup, if we beat any of those teams, that would have taken us to really new heights. But then even not beating and, taking the game down to the last over to the wire was gave a strong statement that, this team is really good. And with the infrastructure and with the kind of things we have right now, I think once we have everything it takes to, for all the, like what other international teams have, I think then, that time is not far when we start beating bigger teams in like, bigger comms on regular occasions.
Yeah, that Pakistan win, I didn't watch a single ball of it. I was working the game in Barbados, and I believe like this, but maybe I can't watch the World Cup. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I can't watch any of it. But I remember we had just done the anthems in Barbados, and so we came in to grab like a meal right before we go out, and I'm refreshing this Crick Info app that's not loading. There's very
Yeah.
little Wi-Fi in our thing. And it's 5-1. I was like, oh no. And then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna refresh and see the result. Pakistan's gonna win. And then it says 4. And I swear there's a video of it somewhere. I throw my phone. Literally, my phone goes flying in this break room. And then during the Super Over, I'm out in the stadium, so I can't. There's no Wi-Fi. I can't check my phone. But my producer, in my ear goes, "So you need to make an announcement." I was like, "Okay, what are we talking?" And he's like, "USA just beat Pakistan in Super Over." I was like, I had the biggest smile on my face to tell the entire crowd that. So it was such a cool feeling to do that, and I think there's so many people that resonated with for sure.
Oh yeah, like I feel, it was more like, yes, there was packed stadium, but it was very sort of, I would say, personal for people who have supported USA cricket for over decades now. And it's a victory of everyone where, you know, because the efforts which, people had put in over the years and, you know, like I saw especially the people inside the ground who were
Yeah.
working, like our groundsmen, Dave, Justin Gill. I saw, a lot of our major league guys were around, a lot of our the USA cricket administrations and all the guys, like they were so emotional. Everybody was literally crying. And it was like such a surreal moment. And then our families, which were there in the in the stadium watching the game. And, everybody like, you know, and a blockbuster 9 a.m. T20 game. Like, it doesn't happen in the world.
Yeah.
No one was expecting that game to be such a epic game and one of the most talked games of 2024 World Cup. So I think, and even the Pakistani guys, so many times, it's just like how the India USA game was. As we were starting to win, they started cheering for USA because everybody lived there. So, so was, the same supporters supporting us and
Yeah.
same supporters who were supporting Pakistan. So it was so much fun to be a part of that. And, like, yeah, it'll go with me forever. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you got that, in your new home, you got that World Cup, and now in the place you grew up, that's the next venture, right? That's where this next World Cup is. I was talking to Rushil Agarkar, and he was saying just expect the unexpected. He's got a lot of confidence about what Team USA can do in this World Cup. How do you feel about the group, and what are kind of your expectations headed to this one?
I feel since last World Cup to this, again, I think there are, like, as a side, we've only gotten better. And also with the playing opportunities, the individuals have got on the team with franchise cricket and everything. And even USA cricket, the way we've been playing together as a team since 2024, not many games we've lost. And here and there, wherever we lost, it's not because the opponent most of the times got big of us. It was our mistakes, very silly mistakes. And now we're getting to a point where we're even trying to avoid those and uh, trying to know each other so much better that, you know, we are sort of in a spot where we understand each other really well and sort of start not just like a bunch of talented group, but we are also starting to know that, okay, in what situation, which guy can offer and take us through. And as I always mention that, especially if you see our top 6, 7 batting lineup, anybody can win you a game there on their day. So if they're out there, I'm backing them against the best bowler in the world as well because I feel they have that skill set to go out there and win the game against anyone. And especially these franchise leagues, when you play and play against the best and you win games for your teams, I feel gives you so much confidence. Is that a lot for us? And then now leading into this World Cup, I feel I feel really positive. And then the way the team has shaped up, and then even the last series we had a 4-0, and then the series before that also we did have, I think, 3-1, whatever. So we've been doing well as a team. It's just going out there, soaking up the pressure, not getting overwhelmed with the occasion, and sort of taking one game at a time, and like just sort of taking things as they come. And I feel this 20-day camp in Sri Lanka will help us come together again and get into that T20 mindset as a team. And then there are a few warm-up games before the World Cup that will help. And then, yeah, I think I'm all in. And then let's see what's in store.
Yeah, and lastly, just you talked about playing India in Wankhede, February 7th, 2026. You've got number 7 on your back with USA in front of in that stadium, in front of those fans. What's that moment gonna mean to you?
I've been thinking about it since it's been announced, and sort of was very emotional for me because it's been almost 8 to 10 years I've played a game in Wankhede, and playing all my life growing up there, playing all the Ranji trophies I played there, and then all the games that I've played there for various teams and everything sort of completes the circle of life for me. And it's just that feeling where, you know, it's just very personal. One is that, and then secondly is for the team, it's such a big moment that, playing in India, a World Cup in India is every cricketer's dream, I would say, because you're playing against a packed stadium wherever you're playing. So whichever game you're playing doesn't matter. The fans are crazy, and that's what, as a cricketer, you always dream of, playing in a packed stadium. And we're playing in an iconic Wankhede Stadium against the Indian team, which I never imagined, but here we are. Such is life, and there's so many of my batchmates who are playing for the current team right now, and such a crazy feeling where in the last World Cup I had already gone through it, so I know how it feels now. But it was even the last World Cup, like when the start of the game, the national anthems go off for both the teams. Like we were all talking like, what do we do now? Like, are we singing the national anthem? Are we not singing the national anthem? And then we all decide that we'll sing both the national anthems, and that's being a part of playing in America and playing for America. And then it was, yeah, so much fun. It's just that it was sort of that start of the 2024 World Cup against India where I was like, okay, it's really happening now. And then as we were into the game, it was such a nice game, playing against India then, and I'm hoping like this one will be another, like, a blockbuster. And I think tickets are already sold out. Whatever knowledge I have to get tickets for my family, so it's going to be very tough. But let's see what happens. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Good luck on the getting those tickets. I'm sure they won't be easy to come by, but hopefully we can make that happen. Harmeet, thank you so much for joining me. I know you've had a crazy couple of months. Happy New Year to you, my man, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Aman. Thank you. Appreciate it.